Welcome to Billy Big Balls podcast, episode 5. We couldn't get anybody, so we just found this fucker walking around outside, and I said, "Hey, do you want to come up and do the podcast with me?" And here he is. All right, Keith.
Very big balls.
What's the crack? All good?
Delighted to be here, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Delighted you're here.
I got here early.
Yeah.
Got here before you.
Got here before us, you know what I mean?
That's dedication for you. I'm going to make this man a millionaire.
No messing around. Do you hear that? Millionaire. So, what's the crack, Keith? All good?
Good, yeah. Not a bother for me,
You know, anytime I see you now, you seem to be jet setting all around the world, you know?
What can I say? You know what I mean?
You know, what is the secret to your success?
Secret of my success was finding a good woman.
Right.
Settled me down.
Happy.
And showed me the ways of life and introduced me to the high life.
Yeah.
And now I can't get enough of it. I love it.
Happy day. Has she any sisters?
She has one sister where she's happy.
No bother. Well, if she has any friends or anybody or anywhere.
I'll put the word out, you Bill.
You know what I mean? I don't mind me up and down to Kildare.
I'll put the word out.
Show them all how to park their cars properly down there.
Don't get me talking about bleeding cars in Kildare.
So,
I'll give you the good one, right?
There we go.
I drive all around the country all week, right? And the people where I live most are the worst drivers on the fucking planet. Well, you're talking about obnoxious.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's just they don't know how to drive. Is it rudeness or just arrogance?
No, it's just if they got money.
They've plenty of money.
Yeah, they don't give a bollocks.
Like,
that's what it is. Marking their territory, putting their car up on the path and all, you know, like a lion. Remember years ago a lion used to piss on the ground?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's like now.
Well,
stick the Jeep up on the grass.
I'm a stickler for indicators now. I always indicate, right?
Yeah.
And where I'm walking my dog, so it's about 3 roundabouts in a row. So we go for about a 5k walk all the time, do you know what I mean? And you count on your hand the amount of cars in an hour, let's say, that indicate. Do you know what I mean? And chaos going around the fucking roundabouts. And then you're crossing the road and the cars fly around, you say, fucking indicate, they're putting the window down as if
you're at doing something wrong, yeah.
What did I do? I said, you didn't fucking indicate, that's what you didn't do. It's the stupid bastards, you know what I mean?
Oh, here, listen.
But you go, right, here's a good one. I went to the shop the other night, right? Parked the car, said to Zach was with me actually, said, Zach, watch this. So I parked the far end of the supermarket. So the whole place was fucking empty, right? This is pure closed. Whole place, and guaranteeing me come out, there'll be a car right up beside me. Right enough, walked out, there's a fucking Jeep right up beside me. I had to get in the passenger seat. This is every bleeding time. Brain dead they are.
Listen.
And there's no talking to them.
Yeah.
They look at you as if you have 10 heads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking.
What do you know about this for?
Yeah, sick of it.
Well, here, listen, see on the roads nowadays, just nobody has a blatant clue. You know what pisses me off on the road, right? So say if you're driving straight, you're going straight, yeah? You come to a set of traffic lights, you're going to go left, right?
Yeah.
So when you turn that corner, that set of traffic lights is not for you. It's for the cars coming the other way, right? You drive around the corner and some dopey cunt just stops. And you're beeping at them, right? And then when you get up to the next light, they're like, what the fuck are you beeping at? I'm beeping at you because you're a fucking dope. If you thought that light was for you when you turned around the corner, where did you do your licence? Where'd you do your driving?
That is exactly it. I'd love to actually see their licence.
Yeah.
Because I'd say half of them never done a driving lesson.
Oh, no, 100%.
It's fucking terrible. I think you should be tested every fucking 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Because it's terrible. Like, I go down the N7 all the time, right? The other night, when was it? I was in Dublin. I was in my office last Friday. There was 6 crashes between the Red Cow and Kill.
6?
6 crashes. And bear in mind, so that was about 6 o'clock in the evening, right? You're not going any more than 30 kilometres anyway.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, I'd often see them in the morning time putting on their makeup. Drove by some board a few weeks ago. She was eating a bowl of bleeding cereal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning.
I'm in the van, so I'm up high every day. And I do be parked up in Terranure, right? Sitting outside the shop, right? And all the cars pull up beside me. And every single person in the car, and listen, I'm not being sexist here, but 90% of them are boats. They're either on their phone like this, they're putting their makeup on, they're doing this, they're doing something. Keep your eyes on the fucking road.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine blokes going around.
The only thing you see the blokes doing,
shaving or something, you know what I mean?
Their nose. That's all you see.
Yeah,
doing, do you know what I mean?
Scratching their balls.
Someone actually brought a bowl of bleeding cereal, milk and all, out in the car and was driving down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen.
Taking the piss.
This is me, right? Say if I was going somewhere, right? I don't know how people sit in traffic all day. Not all day. Not when they're going to work in the morning. Yeah. I'd rather get up an hour or two earlier and get there, sit in my car, have me bowl of fucking cornflakes in my car or whatever, you know what I mean? Or into your office or something.
That's it. Well, I was telling you over there before we started. I'm about 33 kilometres from the office we have in Dublin now. I'm very rarely in there, right? Because as you know, I'm all around the country. One of the days last week or 2 weeks ago, it took me an hour and 50 minutes to get from my gaff into the office, right? I can get to Cork City Centre in 2 hours, 7 minutes from my gaff. And just, you're driving, you stop at 2 tolls, but you're doing 120 or the odd 160 here and there.
Yeah.
But you're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're going in. Me, I get it done. I'm in the bleeding horrors for the day because I could have done a lot in that hour and 50 fucking minutes, not having to sit in traffic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It does my head in. That's why I don't think I'd ever move back to Dublin.
I know. Here, listen. Even in the morning time, right? I come from Terranyo to Southlots, and it takes me like an hour.
Yeah.
A fucking hour,
Painful,
you know what I mean?
It's cycling in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know, and I do be doing,
I
do be doing deliveries for says, and they say to me, "Oh, it's only 10 minutes away." No, it's only 10 minutes away if you're going at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning when there's not a fucking sinner on the road.
That's exactly.
But if you're any time of the day,
like
I seen this thing, I think it said to get 25 kilometres in Dublin or something, it takes 20 minutes or something.
Fucking ridiculous.
Like that,
We're talking about the traffic lights on the podcast the night with Dara. Sure, if you go drive on the N11, there's something like 16 sets of traffic lights from Donnybrook to Loughlinstown.
Ah, come on.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, I'd love to know. Someone send it in. Write it on a postcard and send it in to Billy's Big Balls podcast. Who designs the roads? And who designs where they put the traffic lights?
It's fucking ridiculous.
Because whoever's doing it, seriously, I think they'll be thinking to themselves, "Oh, Billy, well, let's piss Billy off."
You know what they have though? What they have is they have a budget to do, right? If you drive through Naas, for instance, that they're putting cycle tracks through the middle of the town.
Ah, fuck off.
Now they've already ring roads around the town.
Yeah.
And you were saying about cyclists not cycling on the tracks. Why do we walking the dog? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, in fairness, the dog goes for all the cyclists.
Oh, lovely. I'd let him off the lead.
I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah.
But they're saying that it's all stones and all, the bikes are this, that, and the other. But I'll be paying me bleeding hole with them.
Yeah.
They're going down the road, three beside each other. As you say, they're having a chat. You say to them, "What the fuck are you doing?" They're looking at you as if,
yeah.
You know, they're not paying a penny for them to be on them.
No.
The cyclists are going to bleed hate me for this, but I don't give a fuck. I'm paying a fortune in road tax. You are paying fuck all. Do you know what I mean? Then you're giving out to everyone else.
Yeah. Do you know what pisses me off about cyclists, right? They don't pay a thing on the road, right? Fair enough. But they come up to you, you know, in the car and say to you, "You're very close to me back there."
Not close enough.
Very close to you. You're lucky I didn't drive over you.
What?
But the thing about it is, you know, they say like, "Oh, stick to the rules and all this," right? Why be off in that traffic lights, right? Next minute that a bike comes down beside you, up onto the path, people are walking across, pedestrians, straight across them, down the thing, and then you get down to the road and you say to you, "Oh, you were very close to me, very close to you. You nearly killed 3 people walking across the road, but you don't give a bollocks about that."
My ma was driving out to Blackrock there a few weeks ago, and she was going to Strand Road, she said, and she had to move out. She went on the other side. She said she literally went right over the white line and up and stopped at the tracks. Your man come down and started banging on her window, screaming abuse at her. Now, some fella from a car behind, apparently, I think the car, someone walked, ran over to your man and said, "What are you doing? That's a woman you're shouting." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why you fucking lucky I wasn't in the car because that
was probably me.
It'd be the blade.
Yeah.
It'd be the last cycle he ever fucking went on.
Yeah, no, here.
Wrapped the bike around his neck.
See them cyclists, right? They're a bunch of wankers. They have a bleeding yoke on their helmet and all.
The GoPro thing.
The GoPro thing, like fuck up, you sap you. Going around, what do you want to cycle around on your bike and then go home later on and look at your camera? "Oh, look at this prick." You know what I mean? Get the reg or his company name. Like, I know a bloke.
They're out there looking for trouble a lot.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'll give you
now,
a few,
not
right?
Everyone. We're not going to tar them all the same.
No,
we
not
won't
every
paint them all the
cyclist.
same brush, but the majority of these are fucking wankers.
I'll give you a few, right? I was coming down, going into Sandyman, coming down Triumph Road, right? This bloke came out on New Bridge Avenue? I think it's there. Right, anyway, came out. Now I'm in the car, right, and I'm shot out in front of me, right? He goes, "Hey man, you nearly killed me." I was thinking in the car, keep her up and you're dead. Right? So he's cycling in front of me all the way down the road. He wouldn't get out of my way. Now he was driving me fucking crazy, right? And then when he was going past the start of C school, right? I overtook him. Got down as far as Tesco. Comes up beside the car. He goes, "You overtook me back there." I said, "And?" And he stopped in the middle of the road, right? And he was like, "Yeah, you overtook me. Do you know how dangerous that is now? There's a school there." I says, "Was there any school kids coming out?" "No." "Was there any school kids on the road when I overtook you?" "No." "So shut your fucking mouth." And he comes around, right, and he's in the middle of the road. There's a car trying to get by. He gets a smack of the mirror off the other car, right? And I says to him, "Listen, I'll tell you what, buddy. You're obviously upset and you're angry. I'm going to park the car around the corner and I'll get out and we'll have a conversation with you if you want, you know what I mean?" I didn't say that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you
know what I mean? And he goes, "Yeah, cool."
See, that's what they're waiting on.
And then when we were coming down, right, I went to turn and he went straight on his bike, you know what I mean? I was like, "You fucking prick, you."
Yeah, now a lot of them are they've an attitude, they've a chip in their shoulder going now because they know they're pissing people off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They know
You
it.
have to.
You don't even play the rules of the road.
No, the rules
You
of
know
the
what I mean?
and then they say to you, you should be stopping there. You should be giving me this and that. You know what I think as well, right? Now I think this is a rule actually that cyclists have right away, but I don't think this should be a rule.
If there's a cycle track there that they're putting 60 million into it, they should be on the fucking
Yeah.
thing.
No,
And
but
that's it.
even
And take it up with the council if they're complaining about nails on the cycle track because
that's what they're saying.
Stones
Yeah,
and all are booking the
stones
wheels.
and all, yeah.
But now the councils have to do something about it as well. They're building all this, but you know why they're building them? Because they've a budget there that has to be used up. If they don't use it, they don't get it again.
Yeah.
So they're just building stupid fucking things. Do you know what I mean?
But say if you're going straight, yeah, and there's a cycle. I know. Sorry, if you want to turn left and there's a cyclist coming, you have to wait for him to go by before you can turn.
Of course you do, yeah.
I don't think that's
But
right.
if you
I
go-
think he
if you
should
go
have to
to
wait
any-
for you.
you go to
I
any
pay
European
bleeding
city.
tax and insurance. He's not a bleeding bike. You know what I mean?
You go to any European city, cyclists respect the rules. They have their own little traffic lights and all, and it works in other places. Over here, it's just lawless. Everyone's doing what they want.
Do you ever
know
go
what
to
I mean?
Amsterdam?
Yeah, that's bleeding chaos.
I was walking across the road in Amsterdam, right? And some bloke ploughed me over on a bike.
Well, I'll tell you.
And he just, when I got up off the ground, he went, you walked in front of me. I was like, I know, but Jesus, you could have slowed down.
Well, I remember
You
the
bleeding
first time we
killed
went
me.
to Amsterdam. We were coming out of the train station, right? There was this fella, and you could see big bag of weed on the back of the bike on a little stand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was going down the road, looking around him, and he hit the bleeding tracks straight over the top. It was pissing rain, the bleeding weed all over the ground, destroyed. Fucking wrecked it was. The whole thing gone. But he got some fall straight over the handlebars. We were just looking at it. You know what I mean? What a way to start the week. It's fucking great.
Yeah, Amsterdam is some spot.
Yeah, I
innit?
haven't been in years now.
You know what? To be honest with you now, when was the last time I was there? It's probably about 6 or 7 years ago.
But
But it was in August, right? I'm not joking. It was the worst time I was ever in Amsterdam, right? It was 30-something degrees, right? And I hate the sun.
wow.
You know, people say, oh, I love sitting out. I hate sitting out in the sun. If I'm in a hot country, I'd like to go walking around, looking at things, checking other things out, going on fucking trips or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But
You're one of them, are you?
yeah, I hate
I'm
sitting
never
around.
going to play with you, so
Yeah,
I love
right.
nothing more. Few beers and just relaxing. you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
nah, fuck that shit. That's not me, man. But so we were walking around and I was like, listen, I thought to myself, I seen the boat, you know, and I was saying to my board, let me get on the boat. Because the boat might go out, you know, you know the way it's colder out at sea, you know what I mean? Man, this fucking boat went down the canals. I was like, you should have known. The amount of times you walk around,
Miniature cruise.
the amount of times you walk around Amsterdam and you see all these boats on the canal.
Little barge thing,
Yeah,
not
I
moving.
thought we were going to go out.
So you walk faster than them.
Yeah, and there's this boat, and there's only a little window, and she's sitting there right at the window. I swear to God, at one stage, I just wanted to go over and just drag her. Get the fuck! I need air. I couldn't wait to get over. I said, never go
Now
to
where do
Amsterdam.
you want to go? You want to go to Vegas.
Actually, my cousin's getting married in next year in August. I might
Vegas.
go. You
I'm
know.
going this August again.
Yeah.
That'll be our fourth time the last year and a bit. Fucking best place on earth.
Yeah.
Greatest place on earth. Hands down. Fucking great.
For the gambling.
For everything. Just fucking great. But even looking around, we're bringing the kids this year. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like a wonderland for kids. Even looking at the hotels, all that bleeding lights,
Yeah.
slot machines going 90s. You know what I mean? It's fucking great.
I've been in the Sphere.
Wasn't in it, but I've seen it. Class looking. But you can see it from the plane when you're coming in. It's unbelievable. You can see it from
Yeah.
space, they say. Unbelievable. We're going to drive in. We're flying direct to LA this year. We're going to do 3 nights in LA, staying in West Hollywood and the whole lot, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then we're going to drive. I said to me, I said, I'm going to get a bleeding Mustang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roof down, cigar
And
the
the
length of me
the
arm.
bullhorns at the
You know
front
what I
of
mean?
it,
Exactly,
well,
in the passenger seat, and she's there. You wouldn't have Alex, me and the baby in the back,
Yeah,
getting blown
yeah.
out of it, you know what I mean? So I'll probably get a family wagon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're going to drive to Vegas and then do a few nights in Vegas and then New York for a few days and finish up there. But Vegas, you would love Vegas. Vegas, anything goes in Vegas. Fucking great place.
Yeah.
I went to see Bruce Springsteen there last year.
See, where did you
Unreal.
not go to see Bruce
But there's
Springsteen?
not many places. I've been everywhere. I've gone to the
Fuck
San
you,
Siro
no.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've never been to the San Siro. So
Say that
it's an
being
iconic
experience.
stadium, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to go there now, to be honest with you.
Now, I can't see Shamrock Rovers getting to that point anytime soon, so Bruce Springsteen's the next best.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Shamrock Rovers, they're doing well this season, aren't they?
It's getting going now, yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting going. Slow start, but look at the squad of players we have. It's very hard
You can
to
say that now.
manage
Up
that.
the Rovers.
Up the Rovers. But it's very hard to manage that type of squad.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to feel everyone's trying to play for positions and they're jockeying for positions. But once they all gelled in together and got going, it was inevitable really
Yeah.
run away.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll run away with it. I can't see anyone really stopping us now, but
I have a soft spot for the Rings End teams, you know what I mean? I don't particularly like either, Rovers or Shells,
yeah.
but
Patsy, why is who you want to go for? So.
yeah, no, Rings End Rovers.
Rings End Rovers. Remember Rings End Rovers, yeah?
fuck's sake.
They're gone a few years now, aren't they?
I haven't a clue, to be honest with you. I was never really into football when I was growing up.
They're gone a while.
We only kind of got into football after I got out of reading
Wow.
me meditated state.
Well, I'll tell you, you know your stuff, and they'll be looking at your bets.
Yeah, I know. Here, listen.
You do well.
The thing about the bets is, right, people do say to me, how do you bleeding pick the goal scorers? Listen, man, think about it. The same goal scorers score every week in every team. Like,
Wow.
so if you pick 4-5 goal scorers across Europe, they're going to score.
Yeah.
They always score.
So I'm a
And you
greedy
look at the,
bastard. I
like-
look for value, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
looking for a defender that hasn't scored in 14 years.
Yeah.
Come up with a bleeding header. Do you know what I mean? I get 33-1.
Yeah, no, here.
That's where I'm going wrong.
But here, what I do is as well with the sometimes right. This is might be just my thing, right? But I'll be watching Sky News, right? And say that they're going on about a specific person or player, you know what I mean? They're talking about, say Vardy, for instance, you know what I mean? This is going to be Vardy, one of his last games at home, blah, blah, blah. I'd be thinking, that cunt's going to score first.
Yeah.
Right, so I did it before the end of the season. Your man in Burma, I think his name is, he plays for he actually United are looking for him, he plays for Brentford. Him and Vardy in a double.
Yeah.
I think it was 30-1, right? First goal scorers. They scored. A bloke sent me a message. He had the same two, and he had your man Trossard in a thing for like $4,000 for a score.
Sake.
And he was saying to me, "What you think? Would I cash out?" And I was like, "If it was me, I wouldn't cash out."
Well, let it roll.
Yeah.
For
But
the sake of,
you know
only
what?
have a tenner or something on.
He
just
had a
let it
score.
roll.
I think he had a
You know
score or something on
If
it.
I had a couple
But
of
he
grand on
cashed
it, I
out.
might have cashed out.
He cashed out for
Did he?
like 300 and something euro.
Wow.
But well, me personally, I don't. You know what I mean?
No,
Listen,
my
I
cash
don't.
out limit is $3,000. If
You
it's
know
not
what I
under
mean?
that-
I'm not condoning any gambling here, and this is just me. I only gamble on like the lotto and a bit of football. But
It's a mugs game.
if you want to know serious gamblers, how are you going?
Yeah.
So you like it now gamble?
Look, there's no harm in having a bet. You know, if you can
I
control
know,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
years ago, I was reckless with it. Like I'd be
Right.
fucking. Like, I never knew when to stop. Do you know what I mean? I was probably trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say.
Right.
Guys wanting to go to Vegas 20 years ago.
Yeah.
People weren't really going to Vegas. You know what I mean? And I wasn't working for me. I was trying to win my way to everywhere.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
win my way to buy this car, that watch. It doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. You know what I mean? You'll never, as I say, you'll never see a poor bookie, but you'll see a poor punter. But
Yeah.
that's.
You lose more than you win. Like it's
Look,
that's just the way it is.
Look,
you know
the
what I
way
mean?
I remember I was saying to you before I come on this, but if we were going to talk about gambling and stuff, like I'd love it to be a bit of an educational piece. So if anyone's listening here, right, that you see people in the bookmakers and you see the same people every week. They don't know what they're doing. Not that they don't know what they're doing, but they don't know what horse is going to win. And I can tell you from someone that is involved in the industry, and I know lots of jockeys, trainers. Most of the time, the trainer doesn't even really know if the horse is going to win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if they do, they're not telling anyone. These tips going around are all a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
My sister's my sister's fucking fella knows a jockey that's playing riding me fuck somewhere and down the road.
Like,
you know what?
look, I drink with jockeys, right, and trainers and the whole lot, right? Because they all live around where I live, right? And I'd say to them, "What's the story with this one going?" They'd say, "Look, this one's going great at home. We think we'll be thereabouts, but the horse will be able to finish last because the horse, if it's not a going day, it's not a going day." Now, 9 times out of 10, they know the story. The horse isn't going to win. I'll give you a good one, right? We had a horse in training the last couple of years, right? And you'd be shocked the amount of times that I got a text message off someone saying, "Yeah, might be talking to the owner of this horse. Can't lose tomorrow. Lump on it now." Blah.
Yeah.
And I'm texting back saying, "It's my fucking
Fucking
horse.
horse.
You fucking idiot. You. Who are you talking to? None of me."
Yeah.
And then I just got it sent on by someone. I said, "Yeah, fuck off."
Yeah.
So it's all bullshit going around. Do you know what I mean?
You know what,
Now,
right?
You can get caught up in it as well. Look,
Yeah.
I'll give you a good one. So Stephen's Day last year, so Boxing Day, if you're in the UK, we entered their horse to run up and down Royal, up the north, right? The horse was gambled in 33-1 overnight into 9-2 favourite, joint favourite, right? So I'm sitting at home thinking, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
So I'm getting on to, so the fellow we own it with, right, with partners, I'm on to him, so what's the story here? Do you hear anything about this? He says, "No, I don't know what's going on." So I mean, so rang the trainer and all, do you know what I mean, what's the story? He says, "The fucking horse isn't going to be winning, like.
Yeah.
She'll run a good race. We're hoping she'll be thereabouts, but we don't think she's good enough to win it." Because I didn't think so either on the ground. You know what I mean? But of course, lo and behold, when we got up there, I had a bet. Then my missus goes up and backs her twice. Do you know what I mean? She led for the whole circuit and finished tailed off at the end. That was the first time I bought into the whole nonsense after stopping for years, thinking, knowing it was A bad thing
yeah,
to do.
yeah.
Still put a few bob on. But that day broke my heart. I shed a tear now after that.
Yeah.
I was gutted. We thought, you get buy into the whole thing.
Yeah,
Today's the fucking day. We drove all the way up on Steve this morning. Didn't even have a drink the night before Christmas night. I couldn't sleep the excitement.
Not like you.
Drove all the way up and coming home I was bleeding good. I couldn't talk in the car.
Yeah.
Every time she entered my head, I'd start crying. It was just one of those ones. Broke me fucking heart.
Yeah, no.
So, broke me heart. It's a mug's game though.
Yeah,
like
100%. You know, here.
like you'll win a few bob one day. The next day you'll lose double. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When you go into Paddy Power and you take out a few quid, it's only a loan. You're going back. You're gonna put it back in. What I normally do with the football is, right, so if I win a few quid, so say I put a score on and I want, say, 300-400 euro, I'll take 300 of that euro out and put it in my account, and then I'll act the bollocks with another 100. Yeah. And see the 100 that you're acting the bollocks with, you'll end up making a blatant fortune. You know what I mean? Not a fortune, but you'll end up making a few quid, you know what I mean?
Try and play with their money.
Yeah, you want to play with their money. But see what happens is with Paddy Power, right? You know what they do with the cunts, right? So say you're winning all the time on the app. You're not winning for goal scorer. So say like a team, say I do a goal scorer, right? He scores first. I'll do him to get the second one, right? If he gets the second one, then you go to do him the third one. They lock you out. Yeah. Then
they don't want you
winning.
There's
a goal scorer there.
They don't want you winning, Billy. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's the mug punters that are blowing their bollocks every week. That's what they want. You start winning, you're shut down.
I've often been in Paddy Power, right? And the blokes will know them, you know what I mean? But they be going up to the counter, bang, over. Fuck it. Before they even walk back from the counter, they're fucking the docket in the bin, writing another one out, going up. And you're like, you're thinking to yourself.
I was one of them at one stage, stupid. When I wasn't working, especially, I'd be down in Labrooks in Ringsend. I was drinking in Bunnets at the time. I was at the bit changing the name. Yeah. Getting the slate and all in there. You know what I mean? The minute you get your scratcher.
Yeah.
Well, can pay up your bill or whatever. If you got a winner, you're out for the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in there, bet after bet. When you look back now and think the life I have for myself now, the lovely place I'm being. Yeah. That's true hard work and being clever with my money. Not fucking standing
banging around.
I haven't been in a bookmaker, in an actual shop. I can't remember the last time. We're talking a few years now.
And it comes easy, you just blow.
Of course.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what you say. Easy come, easy go.
Yeah, and I used to get carried away with the whole thing. Now, if I'm out now having a pint, because where I obviously drink, it's just racing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone's going in, I say, here, have a tenner on that or something. Do you know what I mean? But standing in the bookmakers now from fucking the minute they're open until the closing time, I was that person. I done it. I hadn't have got the piss in. Yeah. Stupid. Do you know what I mean? And it's just. And it gets you down, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, big time, yeah.
Affects everything. Affects your work ethic, your home life, every fucking thing goes out the window.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can only imagine what it's like for someone who's at the putting on loads of money. You know what I mean? You feel like a loser, you know what I mean? Then when you get a win, you start getting all, you get a win, you're like, lovely. Then you don't win. And you don't win, say, 3 or 4 bets, and you're like, man, I've fucking bad luck, or this, that, and and then all of a sudden, you know.
Do you know what it is? You actually think, well, me personally, you think that the people behind the counter are judging you. Yeah. And they're laughing at you, talking about you. It starts getting in your head. So what I used to be thinking, so fuck them. Because I wouldn't say I'm a genius, but I'd be clever enough, right? I'm good at, if I put my mind to something, I can do it, right? And be successful at it. But I'm thinking, I'm fucking better than this. I'm better than them. I'm going to show them, and then I'll have another 100 on. And I'm thinking, well, I'll clean these out before I fucking leave. And you're leaving with your tail between your legs. Don't do enough for a bleeding chipper. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they're going home saying, check out your man.
I was working in a bank at the time, and I was just got caught up in the whole thing, right? Yeah. I often went to work in the morning with not a price of a cup of tea in my pocket. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but you'd never know. Yeah. I was still in a suit, fucking looking great. You know what I mean? Strolling along, the shades on, not a pot to piss in. Yeah. And you know, no one understands that. If you're an alcoholic, you're on drugs, you're spotted like that.
Straight
you
away,
walk into the pub, piss, you're told, get out. Yeah. You're too drunk. If you're on drugs, they won't let you in anyway because you think you're gonna fucking do something. Gamblers, who knows?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Do you know? It's a horrible addiction.
It is a horrible addiction.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
It is
one of the worst.
There's no way, like, you know the way, like you say, if you're on drugs, you say you're a drug addict, man. You take so many drugs, you're bollocks. You don't want to do one. You're drunk, you can't do one. If you're a gambler and you have money, you just bang, bang, bang. Like you hear stories. Horror stories about blokes, you know what I mean? Blowing everything, you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, you can do it all on your phone now. You can't just, if you're on drugs, you can't just get drugs. No, I know it's easy to get them.
Oh, you can now.
Well, I know you can, but do you know what I mean? Like, where in your
fucking
phone,
Instagram,
you can be lying in bed, gambling all bleeding night, and American
racing,
fucking Australian racing, two flies going up the wall.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Look,
You can do it.
Virtual race and
Yeah.
Everything.
Someone was telling me
Do you know what I
that
mean?
that they gamble on these virtual racing. I'm like, are you serious? It's like a cartoon.
That's I done it.
You know,
Billy.
and they see
They
like
did
a
Frank
name,
Grand
like,
National.
the Rings End Rose. Oh, that's gonna win.
I tell you one thing,
Yeah.
it won for me a few times. The 24th
Yeah,
it won
yeah.
over the years.
Well,
I
see-
backed it a few times.
But everyone's
there
like
she
that.
goes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and then you or something. You know. So,
Oh, it's terrible. Look,
Wait.
I've come out the other end of all that. I've seen it,
yeah.
but now it's only when you get older. But the circles I'd be in now, I understand the game more.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you know, if you go to the foal sales, let's say in Goffs right in November, there's about 900 or 1,000 foals being sold.
Yeah.
How many of them are going to win?
Yeah.
The win rate is less than 20%. I think it could be even less than 14%. Now, don't quote me on them numbers, but so you think about it, all them horses are just, it's all
Yeah,
over
just-
breeding.
yeah,
Fucking donkeys going out.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
people putting, like, their marriages and all are breaking up, losing their kids.
Yeah.
Over back in these
Over
horses.
the back of the
They know
horse,
fucking
there's no-
nothing
yeah,
about,
yeah.
nothing about the horse. Do you know what I mean? You look at a horse that's been laid out for a handicap, right? So the way that works is you run a few races before you get a rating, what mark you get.
Yeah.
So that means your weight it's then. So you carry a particular weight.
Yeah.
So them horses are being held back to get a handy mark. So they look like they're not performing. So they get in light, then they go up and piss in the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you were in the bookies tomorrow and you see a horse going, you're looking, yeah, look at that trainer, this, that, and the other. Sure, the jockey's being told, don't fucking win that race, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're to putting their last few bob on it.
Yeah.
What? And then you're going home smashing the bleeding house up.
Yeah.
Freaked.
I remember
So-
one day it was in Paddy Power, right, and I was seeing this horse, right, and it was called Ride the Monkey, right, and I was like, that's a deadly name. It was 150 to 1. I did it. The fucking thing. Someone rang me later on and said, "Where'd you get that bleeding tip for that horse?" I said, "I didn't get any tip. I just picked
So,
it."
man.
And he said, "Billy, I was watching that race." He says, "Your horse was like at the back, you know, and they're all in front. Next minute, he just went like he was at the taking a bleeding load of coke."
So the thing about I was at home. I was actually working from home today for a rare occasion, right? I had Ascot on the background in now meetings. I'd run in and have a look.
When you said you were at meetings earlier on, I was thinking Ascot was on. He's probably in the bookies.
No, I'll be there. One of my phones is stuck to my ear all day, or I'm on Zooms all the time. But seeing the horse going anyway, I was looking at it and just reading up on it. It's soft ground that was going on. The thing pissed in anyway,
Yeah.
right? But the last 3 times it ran on either very soft or soft ground. That fucking ground today was harder than that table.
And it wins.
Pisses in, so you don't know. You know
Well, you know what?
I'll tell you who would have known. The people that are involved in the horse would have
Yeah.
known, because the trainer would tell them, this horse is going to take to this ground, because they've been training
Yeah,
on
they
it.
know, yeah.
All the prep has
Yeah.
been done. Do you know what I mean? They knew what was going on, but the arseholes in the book, not the arseholes, but I feel sorry for them.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's what the bookmakers see them as, arseholes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're keeping the whole thing afloat.
Yeah.
Pumping money into the bookies.
Oh
you know what I
man,
mean?
like you say, you know, you see people in the all day, every day, and you're like, man, Jesus Christ, you know.
Now, at this stage in my life, I actually feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Now, it's their money, they can do what they want. They've
Oh
got-
no, 100%. Yeah,
You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having a bet if you're in control of it. But I know half the people in the bookies that you see in the bookies now that they've never even been in a training yard.
Yeah.
They don't know what what goes into it.
Yeah.
How to get a horse prepped. Most of these horses and these big handicaps going around Ireland are only out for a spin. Try. There's only one horse can win. There's only 7 races a day. There's fucking 16 horses in most races or
Yeah.
more. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, listen, it's only like you say, it's only after you cop it's a mugs game.
Most of them, but all the money.
like
It's too
gambling,
late then. All the money's
gambling,
gone.
like
You know what I mean?
the little bit of gambling they do, people probably saying it's still gambling, but it is a mugs game. You know what I mean? But
as you say, there's nothing wrong with doing it.
Yeah,
for
it's
a bit of
like-
enjoyment if you're in control of it.
you're out
Yeah.
walking all week. I don't really drink or that, you know.
Ah.
So on the weekend,
myself,
I
Billy.
do I know, yeah. I do see a post, you know. But on the weekend, I just have 1 or 2 bets.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's cool, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
Win a few quid, whoever you're with, give them a few quid or whatever,
There's
you know what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with having that. If you work hard, it's your money. Once you pay all your bills,
Yeah.
look after the wife, the kids, whatever needed, and then if you have a few bob and that's what you want to spend it on,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But when you start spending money that you shouldn't be spending,
Oh, yeah.
That's
the
when it-
mortgage, you know.
that's when it becomes a problem. Do you know what I mean? And
Oh,
it's
100%.
not a nice place to be in. For not only for you, for
For your
everyone around.
board as
Everyone,
well,
everyone's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
suffer then.
yeah.
So it's look. I say to Zach all the time. Now, as you know, we go racing all the time.
Yeah.
Zach's never seen me putting on a bet.
Yeah.
Because as far as he's concerned, it's a
just a
no-go.
hobby.
You don't do it because I don't want him doing it. Because I say he's like me because he loves the racing and I love the whole tradition of the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I love a pen behind the ear. I love all that. I love it all for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
The fucking manly thing to do. It looks great. It's not great. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I don't want him doing it. Yes, be involved in horses. We're always going to probably own them. But gambling thing, keep it to a minimum if you
Did
can.
you ask him what he does for a living or even say his name? I don't think you got his name at the start.
I did, didn't I?
I don't know, did you?
No, you said you found him on the street.
Is this rolling, yeah?
Yeah.
This is Keith, by the way. Keith Hopkins, he's from Rings End.
How are you all?
Just, I don't know if we introduced him.
I don't know, you might have said Keith to begin with.
I might have said Keith to begin with, you know. But the cameraman's, he's a bit old, so he's. You should take creatine. It's great for your memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie's keeping the ship.
I took
ship
2
slow
scoops.
here.
I took 2 scoops of creatine before I left the gaff.
That's why he was fucking late.
Yeah.
Down blading press ups he was on the balcony.
Down the flats, down squats. But yes, what do you actually work at, Keith?
So I'm an account manager. We'll just say in the travel industry.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's busy, man.
So that's why you're blading flying here, there.
No,
and
it's actually down there. All those personal trips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just all around Ireland, so you'd see me frequenting hotels quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'll give commercial advice and strategy
Yeah.
to the hotels, drive revenue, drive business, basically. So.
No,
yeah,
someone told me you won the lotto, you know.
I wish. I thought I won it. I bought a few tickets in Cork last week.
You and Wayne Reid, what?
Me and Wayne Reid, yeah.
You know, that's a little rumour going around the town, you know.
Yeah.
Wayne won the lotto. He's over in Barbados or whatever he is. You
wouldn't know what country he's in on any
Yeah,
given
you know,
day.
but here,
He's
listen.
worse than me.
You know, he's just fucking.
He's living.
Ford
He's
has
doing the
a
right
job.
thing.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly. He's, they don't. Where they are, it's probably cheaper than paying rent here. You know what I mean?
Well, he's had to find something that he's happy
He's had to
with.
find something that he's into and he likes and he's doing it.
Yeah.
And here, big shout out to Wayne Reid. He gave me a message there the other day.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro.
Did you ever see the shorts he wears?
Oh, the
business.
shorts he wears.
The business.
Yeah,
I was going up, he asked me, he told me, he said, wear one. I told him I was coming on, he said, wear one. But I was in meeting, so I just kept this on me, do you know what I mean? But Wayne, chat to you later, bud. Wayne's a good guy.
Wayne's sound. 100%. You know what? You know what? Yeah, he's in fucking Honolulu or somewhere like that. You know what I mean?
He's on holiday.
He's on holiday somewhere. So yeah, but you know what? He put me on to, right? I don't know when.
There's another gal, Billy.
Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, I meant to put your phone on silent. Sorry, but
Could be Blade Rich coming out of this.
Yeah. But he put me onto that book. You know that book, The Secret?
Yeah.
I read that book. I tell you what, I was going around for 30 years with my eyes closed. I believe in all that power of attraction and all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I must be attracting
it's
shit
the
towards
Ray-Bans
me.
it is.
That's it, yeah.
Big bad magnet there with him.
Oh, 100%, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean, yeah? That's it. That's me, my little thing, you know? You know what I mean? And 100%.
You know that?
Huh?
I wish I had the time to read a book.
Yeah?
Fucking, even when I go away, I can't
No,
read
I
a book.
got it on an audio.
Oh,
and I
an
just
audio,
drove around
yeah.
and listened to it.
No,
No, I'm only joking.
You read it, did you?
Yeah, this was years ago when I had no bleeding job or nothing, you know what I mean?
Nothing else
Hadn't
to
the
do.
pot to piss in, so... But I'm here now.
Yeah.
Still don't have a pot to piss in, but...
We'll get you there.
We're getting
you'll
there,
make
you
a
know
few
what I mean?
about this. We'll get you
100%.
to the top, Billy.
So all them
You might have to
sponsors...
move to the top balcony to get to
Yeah. Actually, I moved
get to
down
the-
from the top.
There you go.
Yeah, I was
We'll get
at
you
the
back
top,
up.
yeah.
We'll get you back up.
Back up there, you know?
Back up the top.
But yeah, so... Anything else you want to...
Well, flats.
Oh, the fucking...
Growing up in Stella Gardens.
Growing up in Stella,
But
yeah.
tell you, they were the best days of my life. The
Yeah.
old MDA. Remember
I
the MDA?
remember the MDA, Jesus,
How
yeah.
great it was. So we two set, one nanny and granddad lived right beside the MDA.
Yeah.
And then the other one was down near closer to you.
Ah, right,
behind
yeah.
the mirrors.
Behind,
Remember playing Patch the Dog, Little Bastard?
Yeah,
I
oh.
used to be playing shit myself, trying to get to my nanny's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cunt to come out the gate and...
Ah, he was a bollocks, wasn't he?
Fucking cunt
You'd
of
be
a
going
dog.
by the gaff like that,
It
sneaking
take me
past,
blade
you
an
know
hour
what
to
I
get to
mean?
my nanny's because
Yeah.
kept running around the block. Fuck, I end up jumping over the back wall instead, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
He was a little bastard of a
Oh,
dog.
big time.
But now the daughter, playing football, they were great days.
Yeah.
Like. I'd be telling Zach all about it, saying, you don't see them days anymore.
No, kids don't.
It's all different now.
They're all on their phones and on their iPads.
Going
and
around
all,
on
you know
electric
what I mean?
scooters and all. No one even walks anywhere
No,
anymore, do you know
no,
what I mean? But they were great days. Stella Gardens. Remember the old MDA? Yeah, we were collecting wood to build a fucking pigeon loft.
Yeah.
And my nanny's back. They were going away for 2 days. said, right, lads, get
in there
now."
and do this.
And I was in the blade and skip. I'm slip getting out, broke my arm, bone popped out. I'll never forget. Your man was standing laughing at me. Because they hate us going
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I'll fucking get you. I said one day, do you know what I mean? It's about 2 years later. His car was outside, you know what I mean? And I said, fuck that. It was Ford he was driving. I took the badges off.
Yeah.
And put them up my mate's roof and the stones. Somehow they got discovered. that was bleeding murder over. But I said to him, I'll remember you.
Yeah, remember, I'll get you,
little
yeah.
bastard, laughing at me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was
you know
in
what?
bits, my arm was hanging off. Do you know what I mean?
You know what, popping remember people used to take the Volkswagen sign?
Yeah.
I remember walking down past Bladen, up the Dodder, going past Lansdowne village now, right, and there was a Volkswagen. Now, we weren't into any of that. This board was with us, and she was a mad rocker, you know, and like into the Beastie Boys and all this. Next minute, she's over whipping the yoke off the car, right? This outlet came out, right? You know the way you get a chase off someone? This fucking bloke chased us, right? All through Marion College, over the wall, right? And he grabbed us. That one was by the neck, like he was going to choke him out, you know? And some outlet came out of a gaff. What are you doing? And your mum was like, they're robbing the sign out of my car. He said, that's no reason to kill him. You know what I mean? He had your man by the neck. He was going to kill him. And I wouldn't mind. None of us took it. The board that took it.
The board took it. She got away scot-free.
Yeah, well, she couldn't run, you know what I mean? So she stayed there, you know what I mean? Your man chased us, the cunt.
So I always say, if you didn't do anything, don't run.
Yeah.
Not the old saying.
Yeah.
Used to always say, you don't
Yeah,
do
we were
anything,
always
don't
running.
run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, bollocks. I always ran, just in case. You know what I mean?
Just
in case he did, yeah. Yeah, I was just telling Frankie, right, on the way up. We were up the Dodder years ago, you know. And we were up on the fucking, acting the bollocks, you know. But there was a bloke from Ringsend walking by. So he lived with Stella, you know what I mean? And he's walking by and he's saying something, you know, getting smart, and everyone playing, acting the bollocks, battering him or whatever, you know what I mean? And he walked by anyway. And he gave one of the blokes that was with us, he gave him a box, you know what I mean? And your man was freaked, and we got up onto the top of the shit house. And we were all there, what the fuck we were doing, acting the bollocks, throwing, floating fires or something, you know? Someone said, here's your man back, you know? And the bloke that you said to give him the box there whipped his flute out and pissed off the shit house, right?
All over him?
All over him, right? And we were up on the shit house, and every time he was trying to get up to us, your man kept kicking his hands, wouldn't let him up, you know? So we were up there for about 3 hours, because you went up the wall and get down off your man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, he's gone. He jumped down off the yoke. Your man was bleeding, you know the wall at the fucking, where the grass is, and then the wall.
It's a bit higher up that end of it.
He was hiding behind the yoke there where the steps are.
And
we jumped down off the yoke, and everyone's just chatting. Next when he jumps over the wall, your man that pissed on him. He fucking battered him. Like, yeah, listen, you know what? It was dog rough growing up around there, do you know that?
It was a good area though.
It was a good area, but you know what? I remember one time we went swimming.
Everyone was little bastards. Like,
100%. Boy, we went swimming up the canal, right? And a few older people from Bladen, Stella came along, and I'm sitting there, right? That's why people say, you know, you were a prick years ago, and like this, that, and you know. This is right. I'm sitting there at the canal. Next minute he came along, goes, "Are you going swimming, Billy?" And I said, "No, I can't swim." He says, "Well, you better learn." Fuck me, and my bike into the Bladen, into the canal. Me clothes and all.
Cyclist, wankers.
Yeah.
There
you go,
yeah. As well, yeah. And a pair of pumps.
That's it. But like people say to you, know what I mean? Like you think you got away scot-free. Yeah. We got battered down. The amount of times I got battered growing up, man. Like.
But it puts manners on you as well. If you're acting the bollocks, you deserve a clatter. You know what I mean?
100%.
Nowadays, though, you won't.
Nowadays, you can't say anything. No. You can't even, like here earlier on, you know what the thing about fucking, see people saying like, the tricolour, I find it offensive. How can you find the flag offensive?
The world's gone bleeding mad at this.
But you know what's wrong? It's everybody's too PC. You can't say anything to nobody, or you can't say this, or you can't say that. Listen, man, I can say whatever the fuck I want, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm not, I go out with these blokes on a Bladen Wednesday, right? And the conversation is 1990. You know what I mean? Yeah. On 1980, we don't.
No holds barred.
Yeah, like there's no. Say if there was anyone listening to our conversation, they'd probably thinking, they're bleeding psychos. The shit they're talking about.
Like, you know what I mean?
But like nowadays it's like, you know, there's all these like, you know, like you want to be identified as a cat. You know what I mean?
It's gone nuts.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I seen it in a little thing where it was an English bloke talking, and he's saying, "Oh yeah," he said, if my son came in and said he wants to be a cat, I'd say, "Yeah, no problem, son. See that flap? You're getting out of that now at night, or you're getting in and out of that during the day." And I was, "See you getting using your key? You're dead. See that box? See that box?
Yeah.
That's where you're shitting. You're shitting in that. And at night time, you're getting fucked out. And if you come back with a dead bird, you're getting battered." But like, it's, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Yeah. But you probably have cunts on now, you know what I mean, saying, do you hear your man saying about the...
Like, do you know what? Like, I'm very much...
You can be whatever you want.
Each to their own, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just do whatever you're doing, but it's emblazoned everywhere now. Like, people are afraid to say stuff, do you know what I mean? And that's the problem, like, you don't...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, is it easier for kids growing up now? Like...
No, I think it's harder for kids growing up now. Because...
But it's harder for people to adapt that are older.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas young kids growing up now are just, it's all natural to them, and it's all they know. Which, in the long run, is going to be a good thing for them, isn't it? Because,
is it?
Well...
You know what I mean? I think
you can't grow up being afraid to talk or be afraid to say that. So if they grow up around people that are different or have different views to them, I suppose it's a bit easier that way. Like, if you look at all the, like... So near where we're living, right, so... There's a lot of doctors and nurses and all, so there's a big Indian population close by me. So Zach was playing, because we actually live in an estate, that's where we are, we're in an estate, you know. And Zach went out a few weeks ago, Zach was actually playing cricket. Do you know what I mean? Because they're all playing cricket, and it's a different, he came in and said, Jace, that's great now. He's sick of it now, do you know what I mean? He wants to go back playing football, but it's a completely different culture now.
I'll give you a view.
It's just different.
I walked up to Dada the other day, and there was 3 little kids playing cricket. And I was like, when we were kids, imagine they were playing cricket.
Yeah.
Them and their bats me and the Dada, you know what I mean?
It's just a different
it's like
world
nowadays, like, it was like little youngsters going around, it was like little thugs, weren't they all walking around, skinheads, whatever, you know what I mean? Nowadays, it's like, all the youngsters going around, they're dressed to head to toe in the best of gear, you know? They'd be saying, like, some brands, I'm like, I'm not into brands, I like Adidas.
Wow.
And Nike or something, you know what I mean?
Well, in terms of the culture thing now, I was delighted to see Zach playing it, because that's just the way of life now.
Yeah, no,
And that's the way it is.
That's the way he's going to be growing up with them. He's going to be living there, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know?
It was great to see, like, do you know what I mean? But he's into football. He doesn't want to play cricket anymore, do you know what I mean? But it was just mad to see it, do you know what I mean? Playing cricket, because it's, even for me, because I'm older, I was like, jeez, that's mad. And then so I was walking the dog and I stopped and looking at them and all. I was just good to see, do you know what I mean? Kids just, because they're only innocent kids. But all their parents are working, they're all doctors. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's what we need in the country, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need them. So
we have all doctors in the city centre. Did you ever see them all sitting around having a gaggle? Doctors and engineers.
Well, I tell you.
Fucking hell, I'll tell you what, see, but here, like, you know, I don't want to get off the point or whatever, but see that fucking, all these fucking people coming over, you know?
See, look,
listen, right? Okay, you have to put them somewhere, right? But they're putting them in places like where they're putting a bleeding about 20 blokes in a bleeding school in Donegal, like, or beside a school in Donegal. Like,
it's not being done right. Look, we have to take our fair share in, and it's part of the EU. That goes without saying. And you don't mind taking people in my opinion, that need it. But there's definitely an element that's come into the country that are bogies.
Oh,
there's no doubt about that. Now, that sits with the government, you know what I mean? But there has to be consultation of, like, I know of one school that they're coming in and there's adults in the class with kids. And they're saying that they're kids, but they're clearly adults. Do you know what I mean? That's wrong. You can't put people that you don't know. Like, if you're working in a school, you have to be vetted, right? You have to do all the background checks.
Yeah.
You can't then just put someone that's come in with no visa or passport into a school, into a classroom with other kids, on the pretense that they told you they were a child. That the parents, that's like that side of the thing is wrong. So there's elements that's being done very, very wrong.
Listen.
Do you know?
Well, here, listen.
But look, you only have to walk through Dublin City Centre to see that there's a problem.
I wouldn't.
There's people that are coming in and getting great hospitality of us.
Yeah.
And they're not respecting it.
Yeah.
That's very clear to see. Now, I don't mind the people that are coming in and are respecting it. But if I go to someone else's country, which I do a lot, because I'm always travelling, I respect the culture, I respect the people and the laws.
You're not sitting around drinking and
playing.
There's
a lot going on that's not being respectful.
Yeah.
And that's where I'd have a problem with it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know?
100%. Like, here, listen, you know, all for the better, people want a better life or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm all for that. But the shit that's going on now, it's just not, it's not right.
It's not right.
It's like somebody's making a fortune out of this.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like look at that City West, right?
Millionaires being made of it. Like,
yeah, but here, look at that City West hotel. The government bought that for 140 million yesterday. Like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's a hotel, it should be for people, not for fucking refugees, you know what I mean?
It's the biggest occupancy hotel in Ireland. I think it's...
Like, here, I'll tell you...
It was like a big hotel. I remember being out there lots of times.
I'll give you a story, right? I was only out there about 2 years ago, right? And there's a restaurant on the campus or whatever, right? Fucking in
It was an Asian restaurant.
An Asian restaurant. Lemongrass, that's it, right?
Lovely spot.
Right, the food is bleeding lovely, right? Went in, we were in there anyway, having something to eat. Used to go all the time, made me bored, right? I came out, went outside to have a smoke. I swear to God, it was like I was at there getting off the plane and walked out of the airport into a different country. I swear to God, I never felt so bleeding. Not, I wouldn't say unsafe, but just everyone bleeding. I just looked around and I was like, what's going on here?
See, the thing
you know what? I've never went back there since then.
Yeah, the thing about that hotel is, I can see what... I was actually watching the show the Tonight Show. I can see the thinking behind it. That, right, they're already there. They have it all set up and they have a good structure for them. No, and it's like a resort. But if you're living beside it...
It's in a little bleeding... Like, I used to walk in Sagard, right, when I was a kid. Fucking in a petrol station, right? And that's all it was. There was like a petrol station, 2 petrol stations, and I think 2 pubs, right? Now your man Mansfield built up City West, you know what I mean? But it's just it's like a little sleepy little village. And I drove through it loads of times, and you're going through it, right? And it's like, you're looking around going, who the fuck is all these foreigners? Mm-hmm. You know, they're fucking everywhere, and they're not people wanting around, you know, being nice to in the area or whatever, you know what I mean? These are all acting the bollocks and all, you know? Drink, drive and fucking acting
if you're going to come in, there has to be laws that if you're bringing people in, it's like anyone, because, I mean, the Irish went all over the world and we were...
Yeah, no, here, we didn't fucking...
We didn't wreck the place, right?
Well, not everyone.
Yeah. But, like, if you step out of line, there has to be some sort of strike rule. Yeah. You can't be just let away with stuff. There has to be rules. Look, if you're not going to obey the rules or the laws... See the fucking... bloke fucking tried to bleed and whip a kid out of a bleeding apartment or something. Said he was at there having a few drinks. The judge let him off, right? Gives him a 3-year suspended sentence, providing that he fucks off home. This cunt, nobody knows who he is. He could fuck off somewhere else. See, that's the whole fear thing. Now, people have taken the whole thing out, like blown it completely out of hand in terms of how far right you are and how far left. The way I look
I'm just
at it
an ordinary person.
The way I look at it is, I don't mind who comes into the country, but people have to obey the rules.
Yeah.
And like we all have to.
Like,
if they're not doing it, then they don't deserve to be here, because there is other families that deserve to come here and live a happy life and be looked after and safe.
And walk,
but if you're not going to come and contribute to anything, that's where people... I can see the frustration 100%. In people, but there's a way of going about it. But the buck stops with the government at the end of the day.
Yeah, but here the government, right, listen. Everybody listen here. The government don't give a bollocks about you. They don't give a bollocks what your opinion is. And it's the old blatant thing, you know, if you have money and class, see around here, like, we're in D4 now, you know what I mean? Mm. You don't see fucking any blatant, not that you don't see any foreigners, but you don't see many of them. You know what I mean? They're camping in Harewood Park, they're fucked out straight away.
See, that's where, and that's where you can see where
problem.
People get annoyed about, you know?
They're sticking fucking loads of cunts out in Finglas and fucking Ballymun, all these fucking areas, like places where you shouldn't be fucking...
Look, I get that. There's a big encampment not too far from me. Not very far at all, actually. And you'd only ever see them walking down to get their shopping in the nearest little and going back again. I've never seen them actually around the place, and they're the people that we want. They have all their amenities, whatever they have on site. They go out and get their food. I've never seen any of them hanging around anyway, personally speaking. Yeah. So I've no problem with that. Yeah. But if they start interfering in my life in terms of, and I feel that my kids are not safe, then I might have a problem. Yeah. But I can see why people do have an issue that are having to face it up in their estates every day. But for me personally, it's not affecting my life at the moment, so I'm grand with things. Yeah, but if the steps out of line and it doesn't start involving in my business, well then I might get pissed off and I'll be, you know, but like, it's not affecting me, it's you know, it's a fucked up issue, you know what I mean? Look, and you can't say it. Like if you say
it, like that's the problem, you know what I mean?
Fine line.
Like me personally, like I'm not fair anything, you know what I mean? Nah. I just speak my mind. I say what's on it, and I'm just straight. If you can't take that, you can call it whatever you fucking want to. But I call it just being straight.
But the problem is, if you're online, look, I'd be on Twitter and stuff. The ones that are racist saying all foreigners out of the country, I have a big problem with that now, because like my youngest was born, he'd an issue. So he was in one of the incubators for a couple of days, right? And I think there was only one Irish nurse or doctor that would look after him the whole time we were in the hospital. We were there for a week.
Yeah.
The rest were all foreign nationals. And we owe them a hell of a lot of gratitude for the work and care they put into that. So I've absolutely no problem. You know,
we're not talking about people that come over here and actually.
No, but what I'm saying is the ones that are online, all foreigners out. No foreigners should be.
No.
That goes too far.
That's like it's not. Yeah, that's fucking. That's
you know,
Nazi shit.
And that's what's dragging the narrative down, because then if you do voice your concerns in a legitimate, serious way, you're outcast. Then someone's going to say he's racist, and it's a very, very fine line.
Yeah.
But there's an element that are completely out there on their own. They're ruining
it for everybody,
because the legitimate concern is being passed over. And you're just racist. So I can see why people are angry that maybe their voices aren't being heard.
Yeah.
So I try
because
not to
there's
get
people
involved
speaking over them. That's the problem.
That's
you
the
know what I
issue,
mean. And everyone's looking going because like everybody, you know, they can't be far right. Everybody can't be far. You know what I mean? Or lefties.
Wasn't a thing.
I've never heard of this fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was never a thing, like, do you know. Well, you see,
and now, you know what I mean? Now left is right, and we're all.
It's gathered wings now, and everyone, you know, if you're on that side of the fence, you're completely on it.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. There's no seeing the good in some foreign nations. What they do, they just see
the badness,
and that's what's being heard. That like they've a pretty strong voice at the moment, and that's what's being heard over the speaker system, as opposed to the legitimate concerns of residents.
Well, here, look, I walk with like a man that was here a few minutes ago. Like, I work with foreign nationals all the time. Like, I worked in a building site 20 years ago with Lithuanian blokes.
Hard grafters.
I'm telling you now, it's still to this day, they're friends of mine. I work with Brazilians all the time. They're over here, they want to work, they want to make a better life for themselves. Brazilians, fucking Mexicans, you know, Chinese, fucking, you know, but then you have these cunts in the city centre. They're just sitting around gargling all the time, stabbing each other, bleeding on the muck, you know. It's just, you go into the city centre. When was the last time you were in the city centre? I wouldn't go in there.
No.
It's a blatant dump, man.
I don't venture too far in. The first I go was kind of on the south side. I don't get into the heavy stuff.
Get down to Rings End, slow down there, smell of perfume.
But like, but that's the problem. You can't come in and then be just loitering around. Because because I remember growing up, if you were standing there in a gang of people, you were moved on.
Yeah.
But, so,
remember playing, hanging around on street corners. Like, remember playing where Gaffo lives and all. Remember all the old outlets used to hang around on the wall there.
Yeah.
Someone told me a story that a couple of them went to live in Australia or something, you know, and they were trying to stand around. People came up, no, you can't do that here. You know what I mean? This is not Rings End. You know what I mean?
No, but like there has to be some sort of work ethic or some sort of structure that's in place. It looks as though there's nothing in place.
No, there's fuck all.
That's it with the government, you know. So
it's like the government are like this. Give us the money. Well, fuck them. I live in Black Rock. I live in Fox Rock. They're not putting an iPad centre near my gaff. I don't give a bollocks about them.
But also suits the government.
That's it.
It has the knots fighting against
the knots. But see what happens now is right.
But see, people are making.
They're going to start playing.
Someone always benefits in this and gains money. Like people have
100%.
become rich out of this, and that's the problem, and that's what's getting up people's back because
they can see
that
where
shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be making money on if it is people in desperate need of help. You shouldn't be making millionaires on the back of it. Like,
no.
Do you know? And then
like,
what happens to these people when they come here because they're just being left in?
Yeah.
That I feel sorry for them. If you're going to bring them in, you have to put a structure in place for them. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So there is probably people here that are genuine. They want to do something, but there's nothing for them to do.
Yeah.
So. Like but you can't hang around the main thoroughfares in town either. Drinking and pissing everywhere.
There's a fellow I know actually has a garage, and this fella came into him. And he was saying the same thing, you know what I mean? He's hanging around, he's like this, that. He said, he can't really speak any good English. And your man's saying to him, like, this, like, do you know anything, you know what I mean? Down, changing the wheel, doing this, doing, you know what I mean? Yeah. So your man has him working for him. Because he's desperate. But here, he can't get a PPS number. You should be just, if someone wants to work, bring all these people in. You want a PPS number, bang, there you go, job. You know what I mean? Because there is loads of jobs that we don't want to do.
And that was always the problem with the Irish. And that's what them people complain, we can't get a job, but you didn't want to do the scrubbing pots in the restaurant. But now all of a sudden, because some foreign
He's making
so
a
I
few
don't say
quid
that
now.
Wants to do it.
Yeah.
Then now you have a problem with it. So you
Yeah.
can't have it every way.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? That's the problem. You can't.
I know, yeah. Like, here, listen, we're
know?
not pleading. We're not talking about fucking, fuck off, foreigners out or this, that, and we're just talking about the people that are coming in now. They're not being vetted and they're just hanging around the thing. Just other people, like I say, loads of different nationalities I work with, all sound, all cool.
Wow.
Just not ordinary people, just talk different, have a different culture. But then you have these fuckers that are coming in and they don't want to do it.
It just seems an awful lot of males come in.
Yeah.
Do you know, and that's what
And they
what
usually
has
say,
people on edge.
Yeah, but they usually say, innit, that all the males come first and then the female, because it's easier for the males to get. But here, when are the females coming? Do you know what I mean? But like, you have people out protesting on the streets and all, right? Listen, fair enough. But when you're blocking traffic and all,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
But born in buildings and all, you can't, like, when democracy, like when the rule of law is broken, if it's broken on all sides, then no one's winning the argument.
Yeah.
You can't start burning buildings down. Like, it's going too far, and it's not helping anyone's case. Then there's a way of doing it, and it's a democratic way.
But it's not. But here, being democratic about it is not happening.
Well, maybe
that's the whole problem. That's why people are burning buildings and people are doing this. People are frustrated, and I don't know if any of you noticed, but lately, I can just feel my tension in the air. Like, everybody's angry with each other, everyone's cranky with each other.
Well, to be honest with you, thankfully now, because of my line of work, which is great, I don't see any of it because I'm just going about my business and I'm dealing with foreign nationals all day, every day, and nicer people you couldn't meet.
Well, they're walking now, aren't they?
They're working away.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing, you know what I mean?
Lucky enough, I'm in plush hotels all the time, and I'm going about my business. I'm glad I don't have to say it because I don't want to say protests. I don't want to say things being brought down. I just want to go about my business and keeping my family out of it as much as I can. So I'm lucky in that regard that I'm out of Dublin and I'm kind of off around the country, But
well, to be honest with you, down where we live, there's not. They burned the pub down there. Sally's, you know what I mean? But now there's like, I don't know how the fuck is in
there's
it.
a couple of families, isn't it?
It's
a shelter, is it? Proper, like for Irish
families,
women. Was it women?
You know what? Actually, I've seen a few women outside of there.
Because there's one right behind it, isn't it? The Anchorage or something as well. That's there a good few years beside the old priest house.
Yeah. That's it. That's like a refuge, isn't it?
Yeah, for women. Yeah, it was for women, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Single women with their kids or something. But
that's the priority,
Yeah, you should be looking after your own.
Well, yeah, we've the highest record of homelessness at the moment. 15,000 or something.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what pisses people off. They're buying this hotel out in Bleeding City West, and they're gonna put loads of migrants in it.
Yeah. See, the problem is though, by EU law, they have to take them in. They just have to.
I know.
There's no getting out of it unless they leave, and that's the problem. That's where they're kind of.
But like
they're in too deep.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's not. It is a problem bringing them in, but it's where they're putting them. Like I say about Sago, like it's a little sleepy village, and you go through it at night. Anytime. Like, I used to walk out there years ago, and I remember going back out a fucking couple of years later. I'm like, what the fuck happened down here, man?
But you'd have, like,
there used to be like a little road that went from like Sago to Blade and Pallet, you know what I mean? And then you go down this road and there's like gaps everywhere, you know what I mean?
If you look at it from a humanitarian side of things, when they're bringing them over, right? I'm assuming when they're coming into the country, they don't know where they're going really, what's going to happen when they get here. But they're putting families of 4 and 5 and 6 into little small hotel rooms. Like, that's not right either.
Yeah.
Do you know, they're
giving them tents and leaving on the street. That's not right either. You know what I mean?
That's wrong.
They should have, but they should have like, you know the way, like is in Australia, I think they just put them into a concentration camp or something, don't they?
But at least,
do you know what I mean? They
down beside me, down beside me, it's something similar. There's lines of marquees that they all have, and inside them is all built in.
It's the people in them, yeah.
There's 5 or 6,000, I think.
And they were protesting on that for ages, weren't they?
I've never seen any of it, see, but it's in an old farmer's field. But at least that was done right.
Yeah.
That was built before they came here, and so they've a bit of dignity that they're living. And as I say, from what I've seen, they keep themselves. But that was the right way of doing it. But putting them into small hotels and spreading out, and they're in a little room. That's not right for the kids that are bringing in. It was done. Looking from the outside in, it was done wrong. Yeah. Yes, they have to come, and we have to accommodate, and that's fine. Everyone deserves to be looked after, but you have to do it right. And it wasn't done right from a humanitarian side of things for them either, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, let's get off
We'll
the.
be arguing for this.
We'll be on with it.
We'll be
We'll
going for a
talk
week
about
about
this
it,
on.
you know?
You know what I mean? I have to do a show on this. You know, if anybody wants to come up with little small areas around Ireland and complain about what the towns are turning into.
Or even the opposite. People from other countries.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring a Brazilian on, and let him tell his story about him coming here and what his experience was and all. This bloke sound, you know what I mean?
I wonder I'd love to know what he thinks of the country now. After being here for a while.
Yeah.
What's his thoughts?
His thoughts are pretty similar to our thoughts.
Because I was in Brazil actually. We were over there 2 years ago in Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, yeah.
And I mean that is a congested city.
Yeah.
Millions in it. I think it's the size of London, but double the population.
Yeah.
I think there's 20 million in it. Great place, but Jesus, it was busy. There's bikes and cars everywhere, you know. But imagine us going over there.
Yeah.
I could think to myself, imagine me going, what would I do if I'm put in a hotel? What would I do?
Yeah.
Where would I go if I don't speak English or speak Portuguese? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't speak it. So if you look at it from the other side, if you were sent over there, you're just put in a hotel room for 2 years.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Would you be doing the same? Maybe what they're doing? Would you be just end up drinking on the street? That's probably the other side of it. That when you look at it, you put yourself in their shoes. Do you know what I mean? No, it's one of those, and you'll argue about it all day long.
Yeah.
What's right and what's wrong? So as I say, I don't. It's not affecting me personally and my family. So I don't have an issue with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I can understand why people do.
No, I understand people like listen.
Extent, you know.
Like, you know, listen.
We're going to sport.
We're on to sports, yeah. So, we'll see you down like football. You're a Shamrock Rovers fan?
I'm a Rovers man, yeah. They're the only club we support in the house.
Yeah.
As you know, I used to go over to Celtic a bit years ago, but when Zach came along, so Zach's 11 now, I just decided, you know what, he's not going to be going over there every week because it's just not possible. He wouldn't have the time or the money for it. So, Rovers is a team. Now, funny enough, one of our family members was one of the founding members of Rovers,
right.
Johnny Hopkins.
Okay.
He was on the first ever committee. We have the photograph we were presented with a photograph on the pitch a few years ago, myself and my cousin Frank. So we decided Rovers were our team. We weren't going to bother with anyone else. He certainly wasn't going to be supporting teams over in England, so I wanted to keep it local.
Yeah.
Rovers are our club. We're members of the club. We're season ticket holders. Go every week. Many away games as we can as well. So we love it. Do you know what I mean? That's our club.
Yeah, happy days, yeah.
So I remember Zach, I'll give you a good one about not supporting any English team. First day in school. It's first week, let's say. First babies or junior infants, what do you call it? Teacher was going around, Johnny, Michael, whoever, who do you support? United, Liverpool, Chelsea, but Zach, who do you support? Shamrock Rovers. And the teacher actually says to him, but what's your real team? He says, Shamrock Rovers. There's no English teams in their house. Teacher said, you come up, listen, you can't be saying stuff like that. Says, he can say what he wants.
Yeah, what should he say?
Say what he wants. His team is Shamrock Rovers, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
And now he's well known, so every time when they won the 4 in a row, I was lucky enough in the position that I know a few people in the club, so they gave me the trophy to have at home.
Yeah.
And brought it into Zach's school, let all the kids say it. I think there's about 8 or 9 kids now in his class that all go to see Rovers on the back of that.
Yeah.
But they didn't know anything about Rovers before that.
Yeah,
they were either Leinster rugby or they were one of the English teams.
Yeah.
So I like to think that I'm kind of bringing a few people on board, you know.
Keeping traditional.
But we love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
You look at, I had loads of players' numbers and all on my phone. I'll be chatting to them like we're friends, do you know what I mean? Buzzing about things or jokey things, whatever. But you wouldn't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
You try and get an autograph off a Premier League player.
Oh, no, he's gone by in his
one
car.
in your lifetime
Yeah.
you get. Do you know what I mean? You can go out and have a pint with these lads, or you
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just ordinary guys, yeah.
Genuine blokes.
Actually, you've seen a video with someone.
And
with
good
your man,
guys as well, by the way.
Emilia, is his name?
Mace Amelia.
Mace Amelia.
Pat's player down to sports.
Yeah. No, I was seeing someone talking to him on the street,
yeah.
and he's just like an ordinary bloke, you know what I mean?
That's it. Like,
But it's just it's not like in England. It's different, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They like to think they're superstars.
Yeah, when Zach says one of the players now, he doesn't. There's such and such. He's like, yeah, grand.
Yeah,
it's because
cool.
he just knows.
Yeah,
we have about 4 or 5 signed jerseys at home that he scourged me to
get.
Get framed, but they're 100 and something a frame.
Yeah.
So said the dude said to the lads, don't give him any more fucking jerseys because it's going to cost me a fortune.
Give me a frame.
Give me the frame instead. Yeah. Like Sean Gannon gave him a couple of jerseys. I said to Sean, you want to start buying me the bleeding frames?
The frames for this, yeah.
Do you know? Because they're expensive.
But they're on shells now, aren't they?
Sean's with Shells now, yeah.
Dano Kelly.
Dano's with Shells, yeah. Sean's going for us, I think. Well, he won't be getting it this year. Sorry about that, Sean. But I think he was going for number 12 this year. So I
That's
said to
some
him,
achievement, isn't
more
it, for a
fucking
bleeding-
medals than Gaddafi.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's some achievement for a bleeding.
That'll never be beaten.
No.
I can't say it being beaten. I mean, it's very hard to win a league now, and to win 10, 11, 12 of them is fucking incredible.
And did that run Dundalk went on Europe and all, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a great run, yeah. So, but the Rovers are emulating that now. Like, but getting to the stages where they're getting. Like, we've a manager in Stephen Badley, the greatest I think to ever come into the league.
Yeah.
And a lovely guy into the.
I seen actually. Yeah, it's funny you say that. Another video with him giving someone a lift home in the game or something like that. You know what I mean? In his car,
like,
you know.
He's someone I talked to as well regularly.
Yeah.
Stephen's gentleman, absolutely sound. They're all just, you can approach them all. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
they're not ego-driven fucking
That's the
people.
beauty of it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's football is played on the pitches, to say, not on the television. So I'd rather bring the kids to the game and let them see it and be there. And it's great, do you know what I mean? So we love it. So everyone, get your season tickets for Shamrock Rovers next season. Come and see Ireland's number 1.
20 minutes? No problem.
20 minutes left.
Well, here, I remember.
We're not doing another 3 days, Billy.
I went to see. I went to see Aston Villa, right? Playing. I think it was Aston Villa Youth or something. Playing Rovers in Tala. My cousin, he's a fucking mad Villa supporter, you know.
Yeah.
But we're at the match, right? We're in the stands, right? And this little young fella, now I swear to God, football fans, he's just ruthless, you know what I mean? This little young fella walked by on his own. He must have been down getting something, and he had a United jersey on with Rooney on it, and they all started slagging him. He's only a kid, you know what I mean? Next minute, and now he's standing here, and they were all here. And next minute, he points down. He says to his outfit, you know, they're at the being slagging me. And the outlet, he's pointing down at me, you know, and I looking at him, I was like, no, it wasn't me, it was them, you know what I mean? The outlet came down and what's your... And the outlet was English, you know.
Funny you say that right about that. Nothing I fucking hate more than going to a League of Ireland match. So you're at Rovers.
Yeah.
Now, it's hard to argue if they're at a paying for a season ticket, but I can't understand why fathers go to a match and they're wearing a fucking Liverpool jersey or United jersey sitting at a Rovers match. Like, it just...
Yeah.
And
like, what?
It infuriates me.
What did he be thinking before he left the gaff?
Like,
I'm going to see Rovers tonight. Here, give us that United jersey. Bang that on.
Like, that
Just,
does
you know,
fucking
like, what the fuck,
gets
man?
on my bleeding nerves. Now, you're not going to say that because if they bought a season ticket, they're contributing to the club.
Yeah.
But I just can't understand the logic of it, lads. If you're going to see Rovers, wear a fucking green
Rovers,
top. If you're not going to wear Rovers top,
just wear a jumper.
Don't wear Liverpool Spurs or... Like, do you know what I mean? I just don't understand it. Like,
so,
and especially when you see it on telly as well.
Yeah.
People must be looking in.
What's going on?
And you know another thing, Zach must be going mad, right? So Zach's not with me full time, as you know, right?
Yeah.
So he's with his mother. So in my house, I wouldn't buy him different countries' kits and all. But in his mummy's house, he gets them.
Yeah.
I did be saying to him, Zach, it's a story with the French jersey. Where's their fucking Northern one, John? It's a nice kit. And that's, the world's gone mad.
Yeah.
They're buying kits now because they're nice.
Yeah.
I'm old fashioned. I can't deal with that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I tell you,
If go
I
to
have
France,
a Portugal
you won't see
one.
a French kid going around in a fucking Ireland kit.
Yeah.
Or any country, only their own.
Yeah.
But this country's nuts.
Yeah.
The fucking, I blame it all on the FAI.
I used to go to I still go. Actually, a fella used to go to the gym, right? And every day he came to the gym in a different jersey. No, a different team. You know, City one day. You know, actually, funny enough, he never had the United one on.
Is he not a fan?
No, I don't know. Well, obviously not.
More clubs than fucking Shane
Yeah,
Lowry.
but he had every time he came, he had a different top on.
I can't understand that. To be honest with you, I grew out of the whole thing of being an adult wearing jerseys anyway.
Yeah.
I don't even have them. I'd wear a polo top now, Rovers.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wear a jersey anymore. I'm just a little bit too over that.
Yeah, I'm not. I wear them in the van, you know what I mean? Wow. And I know driving around, people don't let me out of certain places because they say, look at that scumbag with his Chelsea top on, and fuck you, Chelsea neck on. It don't give a bollocks. Like, seriously, you know, people say, you don't do this. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks or says or whatever, you know what I mean? I don't care. Even if they say it to me. Were you always
like that, Billy, or did you?
You know what? As you get older, I think when I hit me 40s, I got to the stage where I was like, I don't give a bollocks.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm 41 now.
You know,
and now
people
I
say,
give a shit what people think.
Yeah, no, you know, people say like, I'm worried about. If you're worried about what people thought of you, you'd never leave your gaff.
No. Do you think Ringsend is very judgmental?
Big time. I walk by people, right, all the time, and I know they hate me, and I just smile at them because I know.
Well, that's the best way.
You know, like I know they, and like I'd say probably 99.9% of people on Ringsend probably hate me. But I don't care.
The Eggman.
You know, I know, here, listen.
That, are you?
No.
No, give it up.
Not that many. You know, actually, when I start doing the eggs, I start to get to know, like, you know, older women, older Owens, no, not Owens, you know.
Digging a bigger hole here. You won't be selling eggs after this?
I know, the eggs is
They
gone.
be trying fucking eggs at you?
Yeah, I know.
Mature women.
Mature women. The eggs are gone,
yeah.
you know. But you used to get, you know, we'd be chatting to them and all, you know what I mean? And get to know them, and then you'd be saying, like, I remember one time someone was saying to me, you know, Jesus, fair play, you turned your whole life around, you know what I mean? I says, no, you can't stay a drug addict, degenerate for the rest of your life.
Nah, but
At some stage. I know, here, listen.
Do you think
like,
it's judgmental though? Like,
100%.
like where I live, right? So I moved there Ringsend a long time ago, right? And I was up in Leopardstown. I made a whole new life for me there. I loved it. But I was always old fashioned. Probably looking at my granddad, as in my dad's dad. He used to wear a suit every day.
Yeah.
And he'd wear the long. You remember it as well, Frankie? You wear the long fucking woolen coats and all. I loved that, wearing a flat cap.
Yeah.
But Ringsend was too. I wouldn't do it. It was too judgy.
Yeah.
But when I moved up where no one kind of knew me,
You could do it.
I could do all that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now,
yeah.
like you'd see me when I'm going racing. I'm in flat caps all the time.
Yeah.
But I'd wear a suit every day if I could. Well, not if I could. I can if I want.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah.
I love the old tradition. Tweed, the whole lot. I do it every day. But Ringsend, if you walk in a suit, we in fucking court.
Yeah.
That's
Straight away.
And that
Someone said,
that annoys me. That pisses me right off.
You know what, right? Someone said to me the other day, now this will tell you how fucking, I had a pair of jeans on, right? And he says to me, what's the story? You wearing jeans? You up in court? I was like, what? And then I says to him, I said, no, I only wear jeans on a Sunday when I'm out riding, you know?
Yeah. It's not me bike.
Yeah. So next time you see me in a pair of jeans,
You're getting your hoe.
you'll have to get me rock and roll. Yep. I had a pair on Sunday, and the Sunday before.
But even when I'm going away, right, so and poor old Zach, he's at that age now where it's just tracksuits he wants to wear.
Yeah.
So,
I'm at that age.
yeah. Whereas I'm going away on holiday, he wants to wear his tracksuit.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to bring a pair of new black runners. I said, we are going to Dubai. So you're not wearing black runners in Dubai. You have to wear
We've
white
melted, yeah.
loafers and all. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in the airport got away. I'll be wearing loafers and all. You can see people looking at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these fucking idiots staring at you. That they're getting all their brand new night gear for going away.
Oh, yeah.
And want the rain tracksuit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know a pair of loafers between the two bits of bread and the end of a
Oh,
fucking
man.
sliced pan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just look at them now. Do you know? Fuck is. Do you know what I mean? But like, you can see they're looking at you, judging you.
Yeah.
You don't think he must think he's the business now.
Yeah,
don't think I'm the business.
I know,
I want to
don't.
fucking wear them because I'm comfortable.
You know what?
Do you know what I mean?
This is my thing, you know what I mean? What you think of me is not my business. I don't give a bollocks about it, man, you know?
Exactly. You know?
But listen, we're going to have to wrap this up, yeah?
Billy, it's been a pleasure.
I tell you, it flew in, didn't it? I didn't even get to do my story. Maybe do my story next week.
An hour and 10.
Don't worry, we didn't even get really going, Billy. We didn't scratch the surface.
Happy days.
You'll
We'll have to come back
on.
again,
I will
bro.
come back on, yeah.
Right.
I'll come back on. I'm going to wear a tweed suit the next time.
Billy Big Balls, end of the podcast. Keith, you were a great guest. Billy loves you. That's a wrap.
Well done, Bill.
Happy days.
That was great.
Nice one, bro.
Enjoyed that.
Fair play.
I've got big balls. I've got big